All right. That being said, David, let me tell you this story.
Okay.
There is a story making headlines, international news. All right. Passengers on a train in Moscow
Ooh, Moscow. All right.
had their cat ejected from the plane to come to find out when they got to the train station, their cat wasn't there. And it had been ejected by the conductor. They went ways back to where they tossed that cat, and about like 100 feet from the track was that cat frozen, popsicled, straight up. Now, I don't know if you've seen the Netflix TV show Don't F with Cats. You see that anybody in here see the Netflix doc?
I'm very aware.
That says it all.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't F with cats. There are hundreds of thousands of people that have signed the petition for this train conductor, not only to be fired, but also to be removed, to go to jail. What's interesting is with all the outrage, they still don't know the identity of the conductor, and the I guess staffing, the union, the train union, is keeping this female conductor's identity under wraps. They won't release the identity, and even with hundreds of thousands of signatures, Moscow prosecutors have decided to refrain from further prosecuting. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on a story such as this, as people are so outraged?
As a lover of cats myself, I love cats. I got a few at home. Boy, I see a cat, I want to pick it up, pet it. It's great. Boy, this breaks my heart just so much. And I want to go through the thought process of the person. So let's just remove the cat.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the facts. All right.
Okay. All right.
Why would the conductor eject the cat? The conductor, Moscow, this shouldn't surprise you. You being a world traveler like yourself, being to foreign countries, you learn very quickly how much stray animals are a problem in other places.
Oh, absolutely.
So that being said, have you seen? Okay, it wouldn't be outrageous to project onto them a cat problem. Yep. They have stray cats on these trains all the time, apparently. So I read. Right. And they were under the impression that this cat was a stray because it had broken out of its carrier. So the plot thickens. Okay. Yeah, Will over here with the opposable thumbs. We got like a Toy Story cat over here.
So this is why. So let's just take this at the stray cat area. This is why I always try to advocate when you travel with a cat, have a collar on it. Because you know what stray cats don't have? Collars. Also, I don't know what the temper of this particular cat was, but typically strays are very rambunctious. Very, like, you don't really want to, they act like they're a caged animal when they're the least amount of a caged animal, but definitely they can be an issue in an area. And usually house cats are just kind of scared, but not necessarily like I'm gonna fight for my life. You deal with stray cats, they're gonna throw some paws at you. You're gonna catch a couple claws from that one. So I don't know. Again, this is all dependent on the temperament of the cat. This might be a wild cat. Conductor's like, you're out of here.
Well, or you're just walking through the cabin and you see a cat and you're like, how the heck did you get on here? Stray. And if you don't have a collar, you're turning into a snowman. Now, here's another element that's that I think further comforts the situation. What I don't like, of the theme of don't mess with cats, these unreasonable cat people, or just like, I don't know, PETA animal enthusiasts. Who doesn't love animals? Like, nature is metal is a cool thing, but also it should make your stomach turn just a little bit because, I mean, if you have a heart, it's kind of gut wrenching, but also it's nature. So on balance with that, with the theme to these cats, if there's a nature to it, if we have a wild cat problem, I got to just get rid of this cat. Now, something needs to recognize, stray or not, throwing a cat out into the middle of Siberia is pretty much a death sentence. Like you just straight up killed a cat. Yeah. Like you did not set this thing up for, I don't know, another future. So I have a problem with that. But even though the union will not disclose the identity of this conductor, they are taking significant lengths to ensure this doesn't happen in the future. By that, they've implemented a protocol for scenarios exactly like this,
Okay. All right.
where now they will have a drop-off station at all of the stations where they will have carriers that they can hand them off to, animal pound carriers. It'll take them, and it's a safe place to leave them. Maybe they can spade them or make sure they're all healthy, got their shots, whatever,
Mhm.
and then release them. So not only does it kind of help the animals that are out, but then it ensures nothing else, no other animal experiences this, whether it's a domestic animal or a stray. But what's interesting is,
All
of
right.
course, to the crazy internet animal people, that's still not enough. And they want this life. They want their life.
Yep.
And to me, I don't know how it becomes a more reasonable outcome. Like, listen, we don't need to kill a person over something that, could have been handled probably better, but also is far from the worst tragedy to happen in Russia today. So, let's just kind of water under the bridge, and let's be happy that all the stray cats are going to be taken care of moving forward. I don't know.
Well, I do like at least the policy change. There is a culture of people who definitely think animal lives are above human lives. Just like, oh man, I'd rather hit a person than a car, or like,
Yeah.
oh boy. All right, well, we'll get to that a little bit later here, Peanut Gallery. Yeah. But it is, God, it is just so inhumane to just throw a cat out the window. It's
Out
awful.
into Siberia.
It's not great. Now, do you remember the story? This was, I think, an American airliner. Someone had like a teacup dog or like something, like a really small dog, and you're allowed to take like super small dogs in the airplane. But apparently, this air hostess decided that the dog was too much of a problem to be in the seat of this particular airplane, like whoever had
Dang
it.
straight.
So they
I like dogs.
So they put it in the overhead bin.
Okay.
And turns out,
Wait. So the dog is in a box, like the dog's in a carrier,
dog's in the carrier.
and the carrier's on a chair,
Yep.
on a seat, and that was too much for someone.
That too much. Now I don't know the full details of what led.
And the dog, don't tell me the dog suffocated up there.
The dog suffocated up there.
Oh my!
Apparently,
God.
those are. If you did not know, those are airtight.
And little did you know, someone grabbed the steering wheel and drove it right into a tall tower.
So it,
9/11 untold stories.
yeah.
it's the small domino leading to 9/11.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's a crazy story.
That is nuts.
So what came of it?
Well, I'm assuming that person got fired. Definitely got made national headlines because
I remember this.
that's a big no-no. I don't remember if it was like American, United. It wasn't Delta. 'Cause Delta doesn't do that. I don't even think it was Spirit either. It was one of like it was like the middle tier ones that have a little too much power. These airliners, TSA, you don't fuck with them because you remember that doctor that just got the shit kicked out of him for not wanting to remove his seat from the plane. He was you're looking at me like you don't. Okay, so this is United. I know this for a fact. A doctor was going to visit like some patients over in like another state or something.
Did you guys know that the CEO of United was dressing at Epstein's Island? Go ahead, continue.
Whoa,
I'm sorry.
anyway. So
Maybe the dog was on that plane.
The more you know.
let's not deplane this one too much. So let's take her back course here. So the doctor was going to, I think he was going to visit some patients over somewhere else in the country, and how the planes overbook. So apparently in this particular flight, they did not tell the doctor before the flight. They didn't say, hey, your spot isn't available. We need to kick you off to allow room for some other people. So he's on the plane. He's sit down. He's seated.
No, if you scan my barcode, it's over.
It's over. And
It's over.
He took that same position. It's like, hey, see, I'm seeing families instead of asking anybody else. So like, hey, we need someone else, or just stopping the people from coming on the plane. That however many people you needed to not be on the plane.
Wow.
Stopping them at the booking situation. TSA got called. They roughed him up a little bit. He's like bloody, and they dragged his ass out the plane. Oh yeah.
See, now here's what's wild.
Can they oversell their seats though? Isn't this
That's such an illegal. I hate
they
that
are
scam that they play.
subsidized,
Well,
and
it's
you're telling me
not-
they don't have to follow
Yeah.
the basic laws of like capacity and
Yeah.
limits. Like even a stadium doesn't oversell a game.
Whoa! Great point. That's a great point.
Well, they do oversell. That's standing room only seats.
But they at
That's
least
all
have that
that.
room. of
Oh,
planes
again,
set.
so make a standing room, make it a double decker where we can all just cram in there like Anne Frank's attic. Like at the end of the day, if you want buffer room, because that's our problem, is you oversell, you sell flights you don't even know you can make yet. So here I am trying to not kill my wallet and buying a flight just 7 months ahead of time. And that flight might literally not exist when the time comes. And then I can't make my friend's wedding in Colorado because I'm stuck here scrambling for a day for a flight that no longer exists. And they're all booked now.
Yeah.
The
airliners, every flight, if the airliner has the opportunity to oversell, they will oversell.
How about this one?
Okay.
You're telling me you scanned my barcode. I sat down. You're going to legally assault me to the point where I'm bleeding to remove me.
Yep.
Now, my service has not been completed and I am not willing to leave.
What
Now,
does
what's
Pete Buttigieg do again? Isn't this
Yeah.
his job?
This
to
was
be in charge of this shit?
in fairness to Mayor Pete.
In fairness, he was in the back of the plane laughing at his ass.
This was prior to that. I think this was during the Trump presidency.
Trump.
Well,
let
it wasn't. It
happen.
wasn't Trump's fault. Just in general, whatever the transportation.
Well, so how about this? I'm on the plane. My wife's pregnant. She hasn't eaten in 8 hours, and we're sweating to death in a tin can. We can barely breathe anymore. Claustrophobia is kicking in. That person's lost their mind. I need the F off this plane. Guess what? If I break off this plane, it's a felony, and I never get to fly again.
Yep.
But you scan my barcode, have not completed the service, and you get to make me bleed and drag me off this thing when I'm not done?
Yep.
That's how this cookie crumbles. But hey, take billions and billions of half of all of our paychecks and subsidize our crony pals. You know, the ones that dressed in drag on Epstein's Island. Those ones.
All right. Okay. I think we made a
All right,
course
Oh,
correction.
wait,
here on
let's
this.
bring it back
All
to
right, all
the
right.
cats.
Okay.
So you
cats.
brought some crazy stories up. One of a stranger getting beaten up on a plane. Don't know how that grounds us. Remember, bring us back to track. Talking about a cat story that really levels with like the spirit of how crazy these people are. That while you were telling the one story, triggered this in me.
Okay.
When I was still an intern at the court that I work at, the magistrate was dealing with this old lady that had been now prosecuted multiple times for feeding the stray cats in her backyard. In this area, they had a true cat problem. They were actually doing like a huge program on collecting them and spading them because they were just humping like rabbits and just hopping. They're everywhere. And this old lady wouldn't stop throwing out saucers of milk and cat food and feeding these guys. So now they're all swarming. Now neighbors are not just finding cat poo everywhere, but now dead cats are just all over the place. They're just I'm the neighbor stuck with dead cats all over my yard because this old lady with dementia can't figure it out. Now, parallel to this, my grandmother, we would have loved to her been able to stay at her house where her husband died, and that would have been, something familiar for her, and it would have been perfect. But guess what? Grandma would get too triggered by the mailman or anything that moved, and she'd call the police for no purpose. And finally, the police looked at us for the final sake and said, if she does it again, we're going to have to arrest her. So guess what? Unfortunately, we had to deal with the miserable reality that many Americans in this country did, and she had to go into a nursing home. Made life difficult. You're morally torn the whole time. But guess what's a necessary precaution? Grandma has now been dragged in front of the judge now 4 or 5, 6 times. So finally, the magistrate's looking at her going, you need to stop this. If you come in here again for feeding cats, I will actually have to do something about it. Like, you're on probation now, but jail time will find itself here. And guess what? She had the nerve on the record right there on the spot. I will never stop. This will forever continue. This is a you problem. And I also think it's totally immoral that this is illegal. So she was sent to jail right there on the spot.
Ooh, they didn't even give her the do not pass go.
Because again, it doesn't matter what the crime is. The 7th time you're looking at the trier effect going, I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to do it as soon as I leave this place. Well, guess what? I don't care if it's, parking in a fire lane or killing the cashier. Guess what? All of it's illegal, and laws are laws. So you're lucky we let you skate 6 other times. So again, there was a huge following on Facebook. A Facebook group is made because the news got involved, and it became this huge catastrophe that this horrible, mean magistrate threw this old lady in jail. And she never saw the inside of a jail cell, but oh my goodness, it became a hellstorm for us. We had thousands and thousands of phone calls coming from all over the world, people from Germany, FU. There was literally a Facebook page disliking this magistrate, some guy. And then he had to take down his Facebook law, like his personal practice law page, because it just was getting totally burdened. The internet was full scope, ready to take him out. And the internet did, not boots on the ground, not reality, back to what makes Don't Mess with Cats so cool, the human hive, but also the people here, the people local, they didn't care. It wasn't their burden. It was the people of the internet. They were upset. They took it upon themselves to petition the city and got a registration for to congregate people. They had the city prepared to shut down Turney Road, the main road right in front of the court, because there was going to be this huge protest. We are getting notifications on the phone and emails by hundreds that there will be thousands of people. Anticipate, get the police ready. There will be tons and tons of people. The day of the hearing, because the judge is going to review this because it became such a hellstorm. The day of the hearing, there were quite literally 4 people in the parking lot. 2 of them holding a sign that said "Cats Lives Matter," which that line aged like a fine wine, because in like 2013, that shit was hilarious. Now it's like, oh my God, 4 white people, cats lives matter. And it's just, so I guess
that would have blown up into a whole thing now too. You're talking about the internet and people getting mad about things. 4 white guys holding up a sign saying that in today's time would have been a whole other thing.
Yeah, right. They would have been canceled. The left eating the left once again. They would have been taken out.
It for sure was not 4 guys. It was 4
Yeah.
women. I think.
Yeah. It was 3 women and a guy.
Hey,
But
You need representation.
but the pant legs on the man was probably pretty short too. So in the gray, the folk in the gray. That being said, let me give my wrapping thoughts.
Okay.
Cat people are crazy.
Whoa.
This is my wrapping thought.
All
Brian,
right.
give me my camera.
Yep.
My wrapping thought is this. There is a thing. Google it as soon as you're done here, because you got to finish the episode. We got 2 more even better bits. That being said, Google toxoplasmosis. That is a disease, a viral disease that is commonly found in rats. It has been a long-term evolution advantage for cats, and it's a virus found in cat urine. The cat urine, it evolves the mouse brain or rat brain to be sexually attracted to the scent of cat urine. And so the evolutionary advantage of that is it brings its prey to them. And that's why you're not supposed to have pregnant women around cats. Google search it. I think it's 60 to 70% of Americans all have toxoplasmosis. And so it isn't that you just love rubbing your furries. Not those furries. But it's that you literally have a viral disease and your brain is broken. That's why they're all crazy. Now, there is something cool to the human hive. I love the fact that humans being upset over a cat video are able to break down the manufacturer of the blanket in the background, the door handle, to triangulate it's this hotel in this foreign country on the other side of this floating rock in space, and they were able to triangulate to a person. That's cool. There's something neat about the human hive going on, but also I think the will of the human hive can be misdirected, because in the case of the pet cat popsicle, there's something really cool about the fact that I think this is the perfect compromise. The person doesn't need their life ruined. Their name doesn't need to be known. They know they did wrong, and I'm sure they don't feel so good that they killed your pet cat. At the same time, cool compromises came of this. Strays are going to get a better deal than they ever had before. Medicinal help and shelter that was otherwise not systematically there for them. And it will ensure that your pet Snuffles is not going to become a popsicle either. I'm satisfied. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think cats are pretty neat, and we shouldn't throw them out of train windows in the winter. I think everyone in this room and watching this right now
In the
can
summer,
agree.
hawk that bitch.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll go. He'll run. They have 9 lives. Yeah, the cold takes the lives away pretty quickly. It's a multiplication factor. So, having said that, animal people in general, like the ones that are really kind of intense about caring for all animals, I love their passion. Sometimes their passion is, I think, in this case, a little misdirected. This cat is probably the Jesus of.
We're
all
not talking about Williams.
This cat's probably the Jesus of all the cats in Moscow. One sacrifice, and the rest are better because of it. So it's nice.
I'm like, where's he going with this?
That was a good
So-
direction.
So they are going to be in a better place, and RIP that cat. I hope he's in a better, on the Rainbow Road, Rainbow Bridge, over the the tundra, so to say. Yeah, I think cats are cool. Dog people, and they can get a little weird too. You don't need to bring your dogs every single bar or restaurant. Cat people, you don't see that. Also, let me one more fact here about dog people. 'Cause I feel like this is a dog person room.
Maybe.
Which animal works for the government and specifically the police a bit more? Cats or dogs?
which one is a narc? Yeah,
Which
you're
one
right.
is
I'll give you
man's
that.
Best friend.
That's a title man gave. I don't know if that's. I
But
don't know
you
if
could
I
be best
agree
friends
that.
with the wrong friend. And that friend can be a cop that's trying to smell what you got cooking in your car.
My dog's an undercover cop. He's been sniffing me out for a while.
Yeah.
Dogs love bacon. Pig.
Big.
Ryan, you got anything?
I got a few comments.
Oh,
Hey.
Ooh, all right.
All right. Bama Boy says
Damn, all right.
people don't always have to deal, or people
Here,
who
click it
don't
up there so they see it.
yes. Excellent people who don't have to deal with problems always have something to say about it when talking about the cats' lives matter.
Yeah.
Ricky had a question for you, Alex. Wasn't there an art teacher in middle school that loved cats and she put her cat in the oven?
Yes.
Microwave.
She
Oh,
put it-
Oh,
Microwave.
Ricky. She
And
tried
that's-
drying it off, killed her cat in the
True
microwave.
story. Every kid thought it wasn't real, but I've known enough people that work there and have confirmed it really happened. She was traumatized by it, but it just spread to all the kids, and it's just been passed.
And
on
then
to
she
kids.
tried to escape it all, rebrand her life, start a whole new career as a conductor. And man.
That was good.
That was good. That was good. I like that. That's one of your best ones.
She really had to start over. She went to Serbia.
Yeah. Damn. Any others?
So Bama Boy also said he does his part with cats and dogs. He's owned them all of his life. But what he would say to the people is it's adopt them if you care so much.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think that's another reasonable thing too. If you're, especially some of the, and I think these hardcore animal people also do this, and they probably have too many animals, and it's probably a problem for the rest of the animals. But they, if you want a cat or if you want a dog, adopt. It's so much. Especially there's a lot of places that would appreciate it, and I think there's just kind of a good you get a good feeling from doing that. Cats specifically, I understand those breeds of dogs that you can't just. I want a husky. They don't just exist in the shelter all the time. But if you especially feeling like a pit bull, or you want kind of more of the hardcore, the problem child breeds, that's a great one to adopt. And then cats specifically.
You
adopt
couldn't pay me to adopt a pit bull.
No,
That-
neither.
I don't know
would I.
about pure pit, but I know plenty of dogs who are part pit,
Yeah.
and they are the sweetest.
Don't care.
dogs.
I don't even want to buy one as a puppy and make it a good boy. I certainly don't want the shelter dog. Oh my god. Yeah, that's inflammatory. I'm willing to kick that box. of
You're
that.
willing to kick that
beast
dog?
nest.
Yes, they just want love, man.
How long has everyone in this room known me? If my dog exceeds 10 pounds and I can't like kick it when it becomes a problem, not my dog.
Wow.
I don't kick my dog. I'm saying, okay, now I have to expand. The philosophy is this. The philosophy
I can't
is
kick my dog. It's not my dog.
the philosophy is if you ever go to a friend's house and they got the big dog, the dog that's like 40, 50, 90 pounds. I heard a story of a 99-pound dog that was biting babies. Okay, here's my thing. If I show up at your house and your dog is on the couch and I'm looking at you, we're looking at the dog, I'm looking back at you, like, what the fuck are we doing here? That is a dog. Get the dog on the floor. I'm the guest. I'm not telling your dog your shit. Know your dog's place.
The dog lives there, not you.
And exactly. And I'm your guest. So guess what? When you come to my house, I'll roll out the red carpet. And if I can't come to get the same reciprocal thing at your house, don't expect coming to my house
Your
again.
dog's sitting on the couch. I'll either move
Pick
the
it up.
dog or
See
sit
how-
next to it.
Look how
But I'm
convenient
not
that
gonna
is.
yell about the
The
dog
second you need it to move, I or you can literally just pick it up and move it.
So
Whoop.
this sounds like you have some experience in this problem.
How about this? When I was on my way to the bus stop in first grade, there was this Dalmatian that would run up and down the yard following the electric fence, just barking its nuts off at me. And it always scared the hell out of me, but it was behind an electric fence. One day, the aggravated balls on that Dalmatian got even extra aggravated. And for whatever reason, it gained a confidence it never had before and leapt through the electric fence and jumped on me, ripped me down to the ground, had me pinned on the ground. And as it's like biting at me, my neighbor, fortunately, my neighbor's mother tackled the dog off me and ran it back to its house. I'm not a fan of big dogs. And here's the thing. I'll go to my friend's house. I got a nice, gorgeous, straight up beautiful golden retriever. And that thing means nobody, no harm. It's also disgusting. Just covered in slobber. Your dog, it has more mucus than a baby. Just, and it's like, yeah, no, there's nothing yummy about it. Nothing about it gets me excited. When I have this little dachshund, you're like, oh, this little wiener dog, little wiener dog. That's all I need. That's all I want.
But you also have to worry about an owl swooping down and taking that thing.
That is true.
Yeah,
Have to
that's
go
true.
outside
Don't
with
have
it
to worry.
every time it goes outside. You gotta make sure that an owl that literally sits on the branch. We live in the woods. There is an owl that literally stalks our deck. It knows where the food is. One day, but we're always vigilant. Literally, the past dog, Roxy, my mom actually physically pushed an owl away as it swooped in. Yeah, we're in the thick of it. But see, everybody's got their ups and downs. And guess what? You've got cats. I've come to your house. It's been a great time. I am not picking pets for your home. I'm picking pets for my home. And I'm judging my experience the second I leave your home. See how that goes? I still enjoyed myself. I'd still welcome myself, but hey.
My rule of thumb is simple. If the dog's big enough to beat my bitch, it's too big.
Yeah.
It's probably a better way to
I live
put
by
it.
that.
Yep.
I live by that. What's up?
William Skadner
Hey!
wanted to know.
Scanner, all right.
William, he wanted to know what breed everyone would be if they would be reincarnated as a dog.
Man.
I said I'd be a shepherd, any kind of shepherd, Australian shepherd, German shepherd.
I'm feeling a beagle. Will's got me hooked. I'd like a beagle. I get to go out there, be outside, be a little animal, but then also get Wendy's chicken nuggets on the way home.
Oh man.
Ricky would be a husky.
I'd be a
I like
Jack
that. Jack Russell.
Yeah, about the same.
Doug would be a parrot.
Doug, you want a cracker?
Yeah.
We'd all be. What dog would you be? Doug's a parrot.
Fuck. I don't know. It's like an interview question. Ah, man, what dog would
Wait,
I
what
be?
type of dog did Kemp have that was super big and fluffy? Remember?
An Alaskan Malamute.
I want to be
Wow.
that because they were huge.
These things were
and
huge.
but the sweetest dogs.
Yes. That is the funniest. You've literally never met a nicer dog, but holy cow, you've never seen a larger, more
The
intimidating
biggest
dog.
I've ever seen. Scared the crap out of me.
The
And
size of a horse.
The male was literally like a wolf, just the whole style of it, like a
Yeah.
stereotype, big mane. It was wild. More comments, or should we
Keep
get it
going.
ripping?
Keep going. All right.
All
I
right,
got my closing thought on this, Alex.
let's hear it,
All
Dougie.
right, Doug.
We've all seen the Machine movie with Burt Kreischer. We all know those subways in Russia are those trains in Russia are all crazy shit, man. All right, so if you're getting on one of those, you should almost expect something crazy to happen
Yeah,
because you're already living in Russia.
right.
All right, and then you're getting on one of those trains run by the mafia. Oh God.
Yeah, and then you handed your cat off to someone, and you're like, "Oh my god, I didn't get it back."
You know what? I think that's a fair point.
It's a great point.
That's actually, I think we removed the Russia part from the story. Really, more so talked about the cat killing part. But
It literally
this is
made
Russia.
It literally made all of Burt Kreischer's career. Is that how wild any experience on that subway can be? Thanks for watching this clip from the Rethink Tank Live. Join us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. streaming across the platforms on YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok. We do our best to promote user engagement, and we want you involved. So be sure to bring your perspective live so we can get you in the dialogue. See you then.